Alder Grant, if you could please sign in.
Can I do it verbally? I actually don't have any internet where I am.
Okay. Yep, you
Thank
are
you.
noted as present. Thanks.
Okay, sorry about that.
All right, I'll call to order the meeting of our Common Council for Tuesday, August 19th. Clerk?
11 present and 40.
All right, thank you very much, Clerk. Now please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation offered by Alder Johnson.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mayor. Please remain standing. I'd like to introduce you to the Reverend Bridget Flad Daniels, who is with Union Congregational Church in the Astor Park area, which is part of my district in downtown Green Bay. She is the proud leader of the longest continually meeting Christian congregation in the state of Wisconsin. Bridget's ministry works to help people see that Jesus' teachings are more relevant today than ever, particularly around the areas of justice, inclusion, healing, and hope. She lives in the Bay with her husband and daughter, who I had the pleasure of meeting beforehand, Scott and Josie. Welcome. Bridget received her Master of Divinity from Catholic Theological Union in Chicago in 1998 and completed further requirements for ordination through Chicago Theological Seminary in 2005 and 2003. She was named St. Norbert College Young Alumnae of the Year for her work of witness and mission. She was ordained by the UCC in 2007. She's a native of Milwaukee, served several churches in the metro area. She cites a missionary experience in El Salvador at the end of that country's civil war as a watershed event in her call to ministry. After returning to the States, she served as a chaplain at a homeless shelter, which focused particularly on hospitality to those dying with AIDS. In 2022, she was featured in the Neville Public Museum's Herstory exhibit, which lifted up the changing roles of women in Brown County. And I want to kind of point out on a personal level about Union Congregational Church, because we had talked about this when we visited a few months back. Was a point of interest that was fascinating to me that I didn't realize. So one of the oldest churches in Wisconsin, founded in 1835, originally part of the Fort Howard settlement, but also served as a stop during the Underground Railroad during the Civil War, which I think is a really interesting point about our community's history and really captures, I think, the things that you do. I mean, I've been to your church probably more than any other in our city, yet I've never been there for a single mass, wedding, or funeral. And I think it's because of how much you open to the community and how much you open your doors to serve the people that live in our city. So thank you for what you do. And with that, Reverend Bridget.
Thanks for the invitation and for that introduction, Brian. Let us take a moment to quiet ourselves and remind ourselves that we're always in God's presence. Holy One, source of every language and culture and dream, who delights in community and who calls us to seek justice, we gather tonight in this chamber not only as officials and citizens, but as neighbors bound together by the promise of community. Remind us that true strength is not found in uniformity, but in beauty of our differences woven together. Let the voices long silenced find courage here. Let those who carry power remember its purpose, to serve the common good, to lift the lowly, to protect the vulnerable, to pursue what is just. May this council's work be animated by wisdom greater than personal interest, by courage deeper than political calculation, by compassion stronger than fear. We gather tonight in the shadow of systems that too often favor the powerful and forget the poor. Do not let us be comfortable here. Disturb our complacency. Expose the easy answers. Remind us that every decision made in this room will either widen the gap of inequality or build the bridge toward beloved community. Give these leaders courage to speak hard truths, to listen to the voices long silenced, to resist the lure of expedience, and to choose what serves the least. Let this chamber be more than a place of procedure. Let it be a place where justice rolls down like waters, where diversity is celebrated, where compassion is not weakness, but strength. Stir us so that decisions made in this room may ripple outward as blessings, toward equality, toward peace, toward a city where every child, every elder, every newcomer, every neighbor knows they belong. This is holy work, and this is sacred ground. And so as we begin with hope, with fire in our hearts, and with conviction that a more just and generous world is possible, starting here and starting now. In all of your holy names, we humbly pray. Amen.
Thank you so much, Pastor, for those wise words. Next, we will move along to approval of the minutes. Motion to approve made by Alder Prophet, seconded by Alder DeLee. Any changes here? Seeing none, all in favor will say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. Approval of the agenda. Motion to approve made by Alder Presley, seconded by Alder Ritterbusch. Any changes here? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the agenda has been approved. Report by the mayor. I'll keep it real brief because we've got a couple of important recognitions to get to here. We've got Labor Day coming up in not too long here. Not this coming Monday, but the following one. Looks like Alder Ritterbusch might touch on it as well, so I'll leave that to him. But just want to take the opportunity to thank all the working men and women who serve the city of Green Bay as our employees, but as importantly, those who labor throughout the community across the state and nation. It's a pretty important holiday for us to be celebrating, and always look forward to getting out to Bay Beach and celebrating with a bunch of good folks at that picnic. So I'll leave it to Alder Ritterbusch for some of those details. But again, just wanted to thank and recognize all of those who are gathered here as our employees, and those who are maybe tuning in to our meeting, and those, like I said, who do the work for us every single day. We've got a great team in all of our departments, and just really appreciate all that great work. So now we move along to announcements from our council. Alder Ritterbusch has one.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just want to announce we're having our annual Labor Day picnic Monday, September 1st from 11 to 4:30, Bay Beach Shelter 1 and 2. This is a fundraiser that we raise money to support the homeless shelters. We provide them with bus tokens for the homeless, and then we also, the profits that we make, we get gift cards from Festival Foods, and we donate those to different pantries around the city, around actually Brown County, because we represent everybody in the county. So hope to see some faces out there. There's face painting, bingo. It's a good time. It's very reasonable. If anybody's interested, I do have a flyer. You can check it out, but hope to see some of my friends from here there. Thank you.
You'll be manning the grill as always.
I'll be grilling.
All right.
Yep. Burgers from JBS.
Sounds good. Any other announcements from council? Alder DeLee?
This Friday, August 22nd, we've got another Grooves on the Green at Farland Park. It's Banda Los Locales from 6 to 8. Music and food trucks. Come out, bring a chair. It's a lot of fun.
Alder. Any other announcements? All right. Seeing none, we'll move on to recognitions and awards. So this is a fun one. The first one is a recognition of Mr. Weldon Tucker for his heroic actions in saving a young child with autism from traffic on a busy street. So tonight we have the privilege of recognizing this gentleman, Mr. Weldon Tucker, on his extraordinary act of courage and compassion in our community. Earlier this summer, 6-year-old Honoretta, a child with autism, ran into traffic near Bond Street, placing her life in danger. But without hesitation, Weldon, a proud resident of New Community Shelter, rushed into the street, stopped cars, and rescued her. His quick thinking and selfless bravery protected Honoretta from danger and is a powerful example to his fellow citizens. Weldon's words were simple but powerful. Quote, "I just do my best, and I hope in anybody's situation like that, somebody would do the same." Unquote. His actions remind us that heroism like this exemplified courage, compassion, and humility. So on behalf of the city of Green Bay, it is my honor to present Weldon with this certificate of recognition, offered with heartfelt gratitude for his selfless and heroic act for the community.
Just thank you for coming, and I'm grateful for the recognition and everybody for the support. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Next, we have a presentation on the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Culture of Health Prize, which was awarded, of course, to the city of Green Bay. To Wello, We All Rise, CAMSA, and Casa Alba Melanie. So on that, we're going to invite our guests up to present to the council on that.
Wonderful. Good evening, everyone. My name is Natalie Baumstead, and I'm the executive director at Wello. Wello is a nonprofit in our community that's focused on co-creating community conditions that are fair and just to drive high levels of health and well-being for all. In 2018, then Mayor and also former Mayor, I see over here, Jim Schmidt, signed with us, with the mayors of De Pere and Brown County, an official day of health and well-being. And a year later, Mayor Genrich also signed that declaration, really making a commitment to the health and well-being of the people and the places here in Northeast Wisconsin. And also a commitment to work collaboratively across sectors with community and with different partners to really elevate what health and well-being looks like, to innovate, and to really focus on the people of our community. And today, we're really excited to be here with you. Over a year ago, our incredible partners came together with one powerful belief, that through collective action, we were building a culture of health and well-being in Green Bay and a community where truly everyone can thrive. And determined to highlight the unstoppable momentum of our city, we, Wello, We All Rise, CAMSA, Casa Alba, and the city of Green Bay, we submitted an application showcasing how a new generation of leaders in Green Bay, Wisconsin was coming together across cultures to create transformational change. Out of hundreds of applications, all across the nation, we were chosen as one of 10 national finalists. And last November, we proudly welcomed the prize selection committee to Green Bay, bringing them to the community, to local agencies, to speak with people in the community, to really hear firsthand the impact that the work was created. And we also were able to bring them to Lambeau Field, where former CEO Mark Murphy welcomed both the community as well as the selection committee. We are so happy to be here today. It really feels like kind of a culminating event that out of over 300 applications and out of those finalists, Green Bay, Wisconsin was chosen as a Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Culture of Health Prize winner. And we really feel like this moment is a testament to what is possible when we come together with vision, with dedication, and with heart. And today we celebrate this recognition, but the real impact of the work, and the unstoppable future that we're building together. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to my colleagues, Robin and Saeed, to also share a few remarks.
I was thinking about that while I was standing. So a lot of people ask you where you're from, and I always have to say I was originally born in Chicago, but I'm from Green Bay. And so I've always found myself responsible for this community, the young people, the families, and the people that need our services the most. And so establishing like We All Rise in Green Bay, having the support of the partners that are here today, having the support of the city of Green Bay, and the work that we've done is really just something that has humbled me, really allowed me the opportunity to get the word out there, to get the word out on a national level about the incredible work that we're doing here in Green Bay.
I feel like there is not a lot of places that have the diversities that we have, and is an ideal city to be looked at for the transformative work that we're doing. And so our theories of change coming together, different partners from different backgrounds, coming together in the way that we have is just really profound. And to have the support of the city of Green Bay and the work and the intentional investment in our work over the years has really just made it a lot easier to be able to serve the people in the community that need it the most. And so I'm truly grateful for that.
Yeah, my name is Saeed Hassan. I am the co-founder and executive director of COMSA. COMSA stands for Community Services Agency. We are a nonprofit that helps refugees and immigrants from all over the world. I, being one of them, used to be a refugee. Again, becoming for those of you who doesn't know about the fluctuation of status from I-94 to permanent resident to U.S. citizen, 42 times. I embody trauma. I embody children who are, coming and fleeing from Ukraine, from Afghanistan, from Sudan, from the rest of the world. COMSA is a place for them that not only recognizes their fear and trauma and the hardship they go through, but makes them feel at home. We intentionally bring people like me who have lived experiences that can help those who are new into the community. And we have been very, very fortunate to be part of a larger Green Bay City community, very welcoming. Oftentimes, when my own community asks me why I choose Green Bay or Wisconsin, I usually tell them I was born in southern Somalia, more like a lot of cows. Milk was one thing, and welcoming was known for us. So, and I said that city also has this too. So, very welcoming, and there's a lot of milk. So, having said that, I was fortunate to find my colleagues here. We have been working together. This was just one of many collaborations and achievements we have had. This was only recognized nationally, but I think there's a lot that we have to share with you guys. But again, we are here very grateful to work with the city and mayor and the rest of the team. And for us, representing refugees and immigrants, we're very grateful being part of this city and contributing to the beautiful fabric of the society that we live in. Again, thank you so much.
So in June, we were able to meet with the CEO of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, as well as other grantees in New Orleans. And we also, so today we have to present to the city, to the mayor, to the city council, officially the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Culture of Health Prize Award. And so we invite the council to come up and take a picture as we formally hand this award over to the city of Green Bay.
Do we want to do it up here, Michael?
Yeah, I think yes, probably would be best.
We could have like some in front, some over here.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, good.
I know.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm always in front too.
Yeah, why don't you guys come up here.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Good to see you.
Thank you, good to see you. You're supposed to do that in He's behind you.
There he is.
All right, I'm gonna scooch over.
Okay.
Okay.
Want to
can
try to
still-
slide in a little bit in front of the chair?
I
do you
think
think?
you should sit on the chair. Can you see me? That seemed like more than one. Thank you, man.
Appreciate you.
Congratulations. Well done. Thank you. Great job. Done, Natalie. Long time to see you. Congrats.
Well, congratulations again to our amazing partners in Wello, We All Rise, COMSA, and Casa Alba. As I've said before, we've got some real rock stars in this community. Saeed and Robin and Natalie and Amanda and their respective teams have done some amazing work, and the communities they represent have done such amazing work. And, recognize we're not at any kind of destination, but we're on a really powerful journey with all of you and the folks that you serve, and just very fortunate to be partners with all of you. So thank you. With that, we'll move along to appointments. Motion to approve made by Alder Prophet. Seconded by Alder Ritterbusch. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed nay. The ayes have it, and those appointments are confirmed. Next up, we have a public hearing. So this is for miscellaneous ordinance number 04-25, an ordinance adopting an amendment to the Smart Growth 2022 Comprehensive Plan of the City of Green Bay related to property located at 3250 Finger Road and 3542 Finger Road from schools, parks, and low-medium density housing to medium-intensity office, retail, and housing. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak to that item? Yes. Feel free to approach the podium and state your name and address.
So, my name is Tim Warner. I live at 3489 Finger Road. I'm kind of kitty corner from the park, the former Holy Martyrs School and church. And then they had a real nice park there where they used to have the church picnic every year, and there's a cemetery. And I would like to try and keep it a park. The area is really building up out there, and I think if we lose this park, we are not going to get another one. And it's a nice, beautiful park right next to the cemetery. I think it'd be kind of a shame to build houses right on top of the cemetery. And I counted there's 38 large mature trees there, like 2 foot in diameter, and another 14 about 1 foot in diameter. Some of them are in distress, so need a little maintenance. But I don't know, it's just a nice park, and it'd be a shame to lose it. So I don't know, it's always been a park when they combined 2 parishes and built a new church. And the pastor they had then sold everything, and he kind of went ahead and sold the park against everyone's wishes. And so I don't know, we'd like to keep it a park.
Great. Well, thanks so much for your testimony, sir.
So I guess that's it. I'll try and keep my remarks quick, brief. So.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak to that item? Anyone else who'd like to speak to that item? All right. Thank you again for that testimony. Now, Alder Johnson.
Just to provide clarity for the speaker, so this was the public hearing portion, but the agenda item will come up later, and we could potentially answer that question for you. So.
Thanks for that, Alder Johnson. Next up, we've got ordinances, second reading for adoption. This is the item. I don't know. The one that we just had a public hearing on. The first one. So I don't know if you wanted to do anything on that. 1 through 4. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Alder Johnson on item 1.
Maybe I'll suspend the rules and take up items 2 through 4.
Sounds good. Alder Johnson makes a motion to suspend the rules and take up items 2 through 4. Oh. 3 and 4?
Just split them all up.
Take them one by one. Go ahead. Item 1.
Good catch, Alder Prophet. So item 1, if I could just maybe, whether it's Parks Director or Economic Development staff, the comment about that being a park, was that a city park?
Director Rainier Wig.
No, that was not a city park. It's actually, the parcels are both owned by the Green Bay Area Public School District, and they are going to be putting those up for sale. So the applicant is looking to reuse the land for the property in a different manner. So
Okay.
they've been green, but they're not park.
Okay, so they're not a city-owned or managed park, so unfortunately, we wouldn't have jurisdiction over
Correct.
what we could do with that land, other than the zoning request.
Correct.
Any other comments on item 1? All right. Motion to adopt made by Alder Presley, seconded by Alder Profit. Any further discussion? We'll use the board.
Sorry, can you record record me as a yes vote?
We'll do, excuse me, we'll do Alder. All right, and those are that is adopted unanimously. On to item 2.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt made by Alder Johnson, seconded by Alder Profit. Any discussion? We'll use the board on item 2. Alder Grant on this one.
I apologize. Yes.
Thank you. That too passes unanimously. On to item 3. Motion to adopt made by Alder Profit, seconded by Alder Ritterbusch. Discussion? Do you need a abstention?
We can do it on the board.
Oh, I didn't realize that. All right, we'll use the board on that one.
Aye.
Thanks, Alder. That passes 10-0 with 1 abstention. Item 4. Motion to adopt made by Alder Profit, seconded by Alder Presley. Discussion here. Seeing none, we'll use the board.
Aye.
And that also is adopted unanimously. On to the report of the Redevelopment Authority.
Second.
Motion to approve made by Alder Profit, seconded by Alder Johnson. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay.
Aye.
The ayes have it, and that report has been approved. Improvement and Services Committee. Motion to approve made by Alder Presley, seconded by Alder Profit. Items to be held separately.
Yes, number 6, please.
6. Any others?
1.
1 and 6 will be handled separately. Hearing none others, all in favor of approving the remainder of that report, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The report has been approved with the exception of items 1 and 6. On item 1, Alder Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I pulled it is because I just wanted to be able to record a no vote on it. I certainly understand and appreciate that the parking utility needs to have a balanced budget. I think my concerns are just more far-reaching than this one item. So it's not, I'm not appealing to council to overturn this because I recognize the fiscal need, but I'm trying to represent the downtown area, recognizing the impact that parking has, and I think that there's an opportunity here for broader discussion around this topic, for which I intended to submit a separate communication. So not looking to blow anything up tonight, but wanted to be able to register my vote.
Okay. Thanks, Alder. Any other discussion? Motion to approve made by Alder Profit. Second. Seconded by Alder Ritterbusch. All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
The ayes have it, and that item is approved. On to item 6, Alder Eck.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Well, this has more pickup now, doesn't it? It feels like you can stand way back here. So Director Houston had reached out to me. So on our agenda, when it came to improvement in services, it was worded to receive and place on file when in fact we needed to say, so I'd like to propose an amendment to approve the award of contract for hauling, disposal, and mobilization of contaminated soil to Peters Concrete Company for a 1-year contract with an estimated spend of $85,000.
Great. So rather than receive and place on file, Alder Eck makes a motion to approve this item. Is there a second for that?
Second.
Seconded by Alder DeLee. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. That item has been approved. Protection and Policy Committee. Motion to approve made by Alder Profit, seconded by Alder DeLee. Items here to be handled separately? 5. You say 5. 5. Any others? Item 5 will be handled separately. Hearing none others, all in favor of approving the remainder of that report will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. That report has been approved with the exception of item 5. On item 5, Alder Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. There are a number of items related to this. 4 items, in fact, throughout the agenda. They're kind of all interrelated. This would be a brand new fee, and I think there was very limited discussion at the committee level, and in subsequent conversations I've had with a number of committee members, I think more questions have evolved, recognizing that this isn't a budget pressing issue, meaning that this is not a fee that currently exists, so therefore there's no urgency to capture that revenue in a way that has to fill a gap. I would like to refer this back to committee because I do think it does warrant some additional discussion. I think the number, if I'm not mistaken, was around $335,000 of new fees that would be assessed towards businesses for inspections, and I just think that warrants some additional discussion about what that means, because I think the information that was also provided was lacking in terms of how maybe some of that fee would be assessed, other than the categories, of course. But I just think there's a lot more information here that I'd like to see fleshed out, and I think the committee is the more appropriate place to do that. And I would maybe at least just ask the fire chief, just to give you that opportunity, if there's any time sensitivity from your perspective around this.
So just before we get there, you made a motion.
Motion to refer back to committee.
Yeah, motion has been made to refer back to committee. It was seconded by.
And actually, sorry, Mayor,
Alder Stevens?
with the ordinance one, could I make, I'd prefer to maybe make a motion to refer the fee one, but so this one I would hold just to leave it here. Does that make sense?
Sure. I think we have to sort of give a date on which it would return.
I think the next meeting.
Next council meeting? Okay. Alder Johnson instead makes a motion to hold this item until our next council meeting. Is there a second for that? Seconded by Alder Stevens. On that, Chief Knott?
Yeah, that would be great. This is, like you said, this is a change from what we've done operationally. We see this as helping us out as in the future with our inspections, which are a growing demand for those. And we welcome the communication, so we're very happy with bringing it back to committee.
Okay. And just to provide clarity, the reason I was holding this one is because this is really just the ordinance that allows us to assess the fee. I think the discussion is really around the fee itself, which is why I was going to refer that one. So,
Okay. Sounds good. Any other discussion? Hearing none. The motion is to hold this item until the next council meeting. All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Aye.
nay. The ayes have it. That item has been held. Next is a report of the Green Bay Police Department granting operator licenses. Motion to approve made by Alder Profit, seconded by Alder DeLee. Any abstentions or names to be handled separately? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay.
Aye.
The ayes have it. That report has been approved. Plan Commission. Motion to approve made by Alder Profit, seconded by Alder Ritterbusch. Items here to be handled separately. Hearing none, all in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The report of the Plan Commission has been approved. Finance Committee. Motion to approve made by Alder Profit, seconded by Alder Presley. Items here to be handled separately. Item 2. Any others? Hearing none others, all in favor of approving the remainder of that report, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The report has been approved, with the exception of item 2. On that, Alder Profit.
I'd like to propose an amendment. The version that we have in our packet tonight has language that wasn't included in the Finance Committee discussion. So under 10-428, I'd like to strike neighborhood and just have it be nonprofit event fee or small nonprofit event fee as it was in the Finance Committee agenda packet. 428.
All right. Alder Prophet makes that motion to amend. Is it seconded?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Alder Ritterbusch. On that, any discussion? Anything from Director Renier? We're not really sure how that happened. Right. So just
I could just add.
Attorney Coulter.
So neighborhoods are listed in the ordinance, and the corresponding ordinance that describes or defines a simple event to include neighborhood picnics, things. There's a list of a couple of things that neighborhood association put on. So it's fine to strike it here, but we'll need to amend the ordinance as well, which I told Alder Prophet to remove it from the description of a simple event. So it may be that the fees haven't been charged, but the ordinance does include them.
So just for my benefit, I guess, right now fees are being charged for the event that you're talking about for neighborhood scale events. Or?
And I can just speak with my neighborhood association hat on if you want, just because I know there's been a lot of discussion at Green Bay neighborhoods about this topic. As their events get larger, they certainly do pay the fee. But some of these, I was just specifically in this section under neighborhood event fee in the special event guide. I guess I didn't reference the ordinance, but in the special event guide, it included like picnics, annual meetings, things of that nature, in which the neighborhood associations through an internal process are allowed 3 park rentals per year. But I mean, no, we've never been charged like a special event fee for our annual meeting on top of you're over your 3 uses of the park, you would get your park fee, but you wouldn't get a special event fee of $25 for having your annual meeting in your park. So I guess that's just where I've not seen the language before. And if it's a larger event for a neighborhood association, absolutely. And they have gotten charged that in the past, but for an annual meeting or a picnic, I don't think it's necessary.
Understood. So there's a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The amendment is adopted. Alder Presley makes a motion to approve as amended. Seconded by Alder Prophet. Alder Johnson.
I would make a motion to refer 18-656 back to Finance Committee. And I'm looking at Chief or Director Ellenbecker. I believe there was another fee associated with this that was modified. And I want to, if that item's referred, is that going to impact timing of budgeting process? So can we grab that other one too and refer that? I just can't find where it is in the fee schedule here. Which one? Okay, so motion to refer 10741 and 18-656 back to Finance Committee.
A motion to refer back those items from the fee schedule was made by Alder Johnson and seconded by Alder Stevens. On that motion, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor will say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay.
Aye.
The ayes have it, and those particular fees have been referred back to committee. Do we need another motion? To approve as amended? I think Alder Presley made that, and then seconded by Alder Prophet. Then we had that motion. So, right. Okay.
I think it just reverts back to his motion.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. Any discussion on the amended motion? Seeing none, all in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and that item has been approved as amended. Park Committee. Motion to approve made by Alder Prophet, or Alder Ritterbusch, seconded by Alder Eck. Items here to be handled separately. Hearing none, all in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. That report has been approved. Personnel. Motion to approve made by Alder Profit, seconded by Alder DeLee. Items here to be handled separately. 4. Any others? All right, hearing none others, all in favor of approving the remainder of that report will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The report has been approved with the exception of item 4 on that, Alder Profit.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve rather than refer back to staff. I don't know what more other than an email to personnel prior to a budgetary change could take place. I think this is a smart move. I was talking to the HR director about the amount of time and effort my very large company has to go through in terms of HR processes. This one seems to make sense. They are budgeted positions. I trust our department heads. We have budget season every year where we can have these discussions. So yeah, I'd make a motion to approve as was recommended by our HR professional, which I'm glad we brought on board this year.
Great. Alder Profit makes that motion to approve and seconded by Alder Presley. On the motion, any discussion? Alder Presley?
I agree with Alder Profit on this. I think it's not necessary for us to have, or the committee to have that much say when it is already budgeted. We have the say in the budgeting. I think that's where we get our say. It's not when it's just an internal transfer. I don't think that needs additional input from the council.
Okay. Thanks, Alder. Anything else on that? All right. All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Aye.
The ayes appear to have it. Sure. We can use the board.
Please record me as a nay.
Thanks, Alder Grant. And that motion fails. 6-5. Another motion? Motion to refer made by Alder Johnson, seconded by Alder Eck. Discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. I would, okay. Use the board again on referral.
Please record me as an aye.
Thanks, Alder Grant. And that passes 6-5. Next, we have an informational item, building report for July 2025 in your packet. Committee of the Whole, for consideration of possible action to approve a license amendment for happy hour at 813 South Broadway to include 809 South Broadway and a limited expansion of licensed premises to include 809-813 South Broadway with a description of 809 South Broadway would be fenced off and utilized for drink for the dates of September 12th to September 13, 2025, subject to obtaining a sidewalk cafe permit and a lease agreement from RDA. Any discussion on that? Alder Johnson makes a motion to approve. Seconded by Alder Stevens. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. That item has been approved. Next up is for consideration with possible action to approve a massage establishment license for Sunrise Spa at 503 South Military, pending approval from proper authorities. On that, any comments, Attorney Coachart, or?
So Sunrise Spa Massage, you may recall from the last meeting, we had a procedural question vote. They didn't proceed with their quasi-judicial hearing and instead were directed to reapply. They did. We didn't finish the background process prior to the PNP committee, so it's on here. Instead, it's committee of the whole, and the general staff recommendation is to approve.
Thank you, Attorney. Any discussion on that? Lorek?
Can you just clarify the pending approval from proper authorities, please?
I think that's always added for every licensure, but I believe that we have an okay from inspections and okay from the PD and a recommendation from myself as well. But that's the usual process in case one of those things hasn't been completed, but it has been here.
Okay, I'm not seeing those attachments as far as the approval from inspections or PD.
Well, Chief Davis could respond here, and I can look up really quickly the email for Director Renier Wig as to which one of her staff did the inspection.
Thank you.
Anything to add, Chief Davis?
Not really. We did our standard background investigation for this, and I believe you have a copy of the report in your packet. Obviously, there are some concerns here, but not enough to rise to the level where we would support denying this.
Okay,
It's not showing.
doesn't look like alders can access any materials.
No. Well, I'm happy to. I can summarize the background report if that is helpful. Might take a couple minutes, but this was done by one of our community policing officers. Checked the telephone number that the applicant listed on her application, and that result was inconclusive. The phone went to a general voicemail box. The Google search of this phone number shows the phone number listed on a website called hot.com with the title Green Bay Erotic Massage Parlors Happy Ending, and then it trails off. And then when we attempted to click on this website to see if there's a connection between that Google result and the establishment, the website was blocked. So we were not able, it was inconclusive as to whether that website actually advertises this business. It may not. A Google search of the applicant and the words massage therapist showed just some news reports from council meetings where this person was present. And then from looking at in-house records regarding the applicant, she's mentioned in an ordinance violation at Sunrise Spa on December 1st, 2020. This is where an officer went to the business following up on complaints of unwanted sexual encounters during massages. This person was one of the employees on the scene, and at that time she did not have a massage or bodywork therapy license to perform massages. So the owner was not the current applicant, was cited at that time for that violation. Then on January 16th, 2023, we had an officer who responded to Sunrise Spa following up on a report that a female employee had grabbed a customer in a sexual manner. The applicant for today was on scene when the officer followed up and was given a verbal warning for not having massage or bodywork therapy license displayed conspicuously. And then on May 10th, we had an officer who reviewed an establishment license application for the spa with someone else listed as the owner, and the current applicant listed as the employee. But as we may recall from a previous council meeting, this person who is applying now has asserted that she has owned the business for a year. So that would be in conflict with this statement that the officer received on May 10th of 2025. And then there was another citation that was issued recently, but that was in error. So we don't want to use that. We would not recommend using that latest one as part of the decision here tonight.
Okay. Thanks, Chief. Director Renier Wig, anything on inspections?
The inspection was cleared on this property, so we're okay.
Thank you. Alderac?
I know that Keller is here, so I'd like to motion to open the floor.
Motion to open the floor, made by Alderac. Seconded by Alder Morgan. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay. The ayes have it. Floor is open. Like to make any comments?
Mr. Mayor, I could speak on behalf of my client. If that's acceptable.
Yeah, go ahead if you could just
Can I
identify yourself.
Can I have for clarification, Mayor? Just
Oh,
real quick?
yes. Sorry. Attorney Kocher.
Yeah, Attorney Randall's on. I just want to clarify this isn't a hearing, so they're not required to speak. So any public comment that's given is just on behalf of them as an individual, or in this case, her attorney. But this isn't a quasi-judicial hearing, so they're not required to speak or answer questions.
Okay.
I was just given the opportunity.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Did you hear that, Attorney Randall?
I did, and I'll be very brief. and I apologize I'm not there in person. I have a volunteer board meeting that I am at here in Milwaukee, but Attorney Cochard indicated appearing virtually would be fine. So I appreciate that. Indeed, the hot.com claim, that website is blocked. I never found any access to my client's website as a result of hot.com. That's the one at the last Common Council meeting I mentioned. There are many other spas, including Kohler, which are listed at hot.com. So I think it's an aggregator website. And unfortunately, we are listed there, as well as the phone number that is used for the business is just being populated on the internet. So my client has not advertised in those ways. She will not, and she has not grabbed people or done anything. We appreciate the police department has always investigated to make sure. And those verbal warnings about not having the licenses posted, those have since been complied with. And that was also a photo that I provided at the last meeting. So we thank you for your time. Appreciate all the staff work in completing these inspections. And we'd ask the council to respectfully approve the license. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments from the gallery? Okay. Entertain a motion to close the floor.
Motion to close the floor.
Motion to close the floor made by Alder DeLee and seconded by Alder Eck. All in favor will say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Floor is closed. Alder Eck?
No, I'm sorry. I was just telling you I was on. And then you turned it off right as I said it.
All good. Any other comments? All right. Motion to approve made by Alder Prophet. Seconded by Alder Ritterbusch. Any discussion here? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and that item has been approved. Next up is resolutions.
Motion to suspend the rules, take up items 1, 2, and 4.
Alder Johnson makes a motion to suspend the rules, take up items 1, 2, and 4 with one roll call vote. Seconded by Alder Eck. Any discussion here? None. All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Yeah, the rules are suspended.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt made by Alder Johnson, seconded by Alder Eck. Discussion here. Seeing none, we'll use the board.
Please record me as a yes.
Thanks, Alder. Sounds like the yes, that's what I was going to just say, beat me to it. Passed unanimously, 11-0. So we have item 3 up here.
Motion to adopt is amended and refer those 2 items back to committee.
All right, Alder Johnson makes a motion to adopt as amended, noting those referrals, seconded by Alder Eck. Discussion on that. Alder Prophet?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Adopted said previously amended.
Thank you.
Yes. Any other discussion on that? Seeing none, we'll use the board.
Record me as a yes, please.
All right, will do. All right, adopted unanimously. Ordinance is first reading. Motion to suspend the rules, take them up on 1 and 2, take them up with one roll call vote. That was made by Alder Prophet, seconded by Alder Eck. All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Rules are suspended. Motion to advance made by Alder Presley, seconded by Alder DeLee. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed, nay.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Those 2 items have been advanced to second and final reading. On to item 3. Alder Prophet makes a motion to hold this item until September 16th. Seconded by Alder DeLee. Any discussion here? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Aye.
The ayes have it, and that item is held. Petitions and communications. Adjournment. Motion to adjourn made by Alder DeLee, seconded by Alder Eck. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Recording stopped.